Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Seraphic Zero, and we're playing Gundam Battle Operation. So this is the situation battle for the competition between the Blue Destinies 2 and 3, and I'm piloting the Blue Destiny 3 on the Federation side. So these Gundams are actually one of the very first Gundams released in Gundam Battle Operation. And these two units are basically space variants of the Ground Gundam, along with some unique systems like the exam system, but we'll talk about that later in the match. So the Blue Destinies are actually fairly difficult to use because I believe they're actually the very first mobile suit in the game that actually have 5 weapons in their weapon cycle, and it can actually be very challenging to manage all these different weapons, especially before using the advanced weapon switching technique was more popular. The Blue Destinies can equip 2 different kinds of beam rifles. It can use the Ground Gundam type beam rifle, and it can also use the 100mm Kai. I believe that weapon actually came standard with the Blue Destiny 1. And I actually prefer to use it with the machine gun instead, but this situation battle equips you with the beam rifle, so there's really no helping that. So aside from that, it has Vulcans and then some chest Vulcans, which I actually use a lot in this situation battle. So I think they actually upgraded this machine gun, and it's just insanely powerful now, especially in this situation battle, so I do make use of it a lot. And so other than that, it also has some tube missile launchers. These you have to stand still to fire these, unfortunately. So they basically fire in a straight trajectory, and they do cause stunning, so they're very good for combos. And after that, you have a beam saber with 2 swings on it. So the Blue Destiny is equipped with a whole bunch of different weapons with a lot of utility. The fact that it has these chest machine guns means it can pretty much just mop up anything that has low health, which is really useful. And then you can always switch to the chest missiles to be able to stun something in a pinch. Okay, so yeah, I've pushed a little too far forward, and I'm kind of surrounded by enemies right now, so I'm gonna pull back and wait for my team to respawn. Yeah, so the combo I'm typically going to use is I'm going to charge my beam rifle to stun, and then wait a little bit to use the rocket launcher to stun again, trip with the beam saber, and then from there you can follow up with either another beam saber slash, or you can use a beam rifle shot, which is pretty effective. And if that doesn't kill them, you can follow up with more machine gun shots, which is it's actually really powerful. Yeah, so, I don't know, I really like the Blue Destinies because they look pretty cool, and they have a lot of interesting weapons that are, like, they pretty much have a weapon for every situation. It's just that when they were initially released, they were really cool, and they have really high mobility. It's just that their damage output is not as high as other Gundams can be. Like, by the time I swear to God, like, when the game was first starting, I was stuck with the level 1 Blue Destiny for years before I unlocked the level 2, just because the drop rate was so low. And even then, like, the Blue Destiny was pretty much just outclassed in damage by most other Gundams, so I think at the late stages of the game, nobody ever really used this thing, but it is remembered fondly by most people. Wow, he was just a tick away from death. Yeah, so in this situation battle, what I'm basically doing is I'm just trying to, I'm keeping my distance and just letting our bazookas on the team do most of the hard work, taking the front lines and stunning the enemy. And I'm just trying to be as accurate as possible to do as much damage as I can from a distance. And that's really easy to do with this beam rifle. And yeah, and then this thing, it just has so many different ranged options. It's just fantastic. Oh, and I just had the exam system activated. So what exam system does is when the Blue Destiny is near death, it's going to activate the exam system, and what it does is it increases mobility. So you can see here that I'm running in any direction basically at 100% speed. That kind of behaves similarly to magnetic coating, and also it increases your boost gauge like crazy, so you can pretty much outmaneuver anybody, and if you need to escape, pretty much nobody can catch you. So it's pretty fantastic for that. You'll have to be careful with dodge rolls because that will completely deplete your heat gauge as well, so maybe don't use the dodge roll when you're in exam mode. It also happens to repair any damage to your head or your legs, so some players choose to not use any leg reinforcement on Blue Destinies because they just recover all of that if they enter exam mode. And one last thing it does is that well, yeah, you are on a timer. We'll see what happens when that happens. But when the timer goes up, another thing it does is it decreases the cooldown time on your melee attacks. So basically, you have the you have the speed and mobility and boost capacity to just melee like crazy when you're in exam mode. But you'll have to be careful because when the timer goes up for exam mode, your head and your legs will break instantly, and that's nearly a suicidal situation to be in. For some reason, I was engaged with an enemy when my exam system, expired, but they didn't come attack me for some reason, so that was sort of lucky. Unfortunately, I pretty much just died instantly the second I repaired my legs and got back up. Yeah, there's some matches I've played where I basically, get knocked down to low HP, activate exam system, use up my exam, repair my legs, and just go the rest of the match like that. So, yeah, this mode has pretty good survivability. All right, man, that is it for the match. It went by pretty fast. All right, looks like we took the match, and we won by about double, which is 4,000 points. And weirdly enough, both me and this gym command both got the best kill to death ratios award, which is really weird. You don't see that happen often. But yeah, I'm pretty surprised that that gym did so much damage. But yeah, the team was working together really well, and I was just trying really hard not to stun anybody else or just do a crazy amount of kill stealing. But yeah, the team worked together fantastic, and yeah, that's pretty much how you do that match. Just let your bazooka stun, and the BD3 should just focus on being accurate with its shots. Anyway, you guys, that's it for my thoughts on the Blue Destiny. The Blue Destinies 2 and 3 are pretty much identical aside from their shields. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.